What's up, guys? So today I'm going to do just a quick sort of how-to and review on the DiabloSport Predator tune by SCT for the 99-04 Mustang GT 2-valve. So as far as use, it's honestly pretty simple. You just take the connector that runs right off of it and plug that into your car's OBD2 port, which is right under here. Alright, so you're just going to go ahead and plug this in right on here, and you'll see that get rid of the glare here if I can. So you'll see it says checking app. It'll immediately get power as long as your battery's on. Alright, so I'll give you some options here. You got their performance tune, diagnostics, options, and then tool info. So as far as tuning, you're going to want to go to performance tune. Agree, we know. So select your transmission. I have a 5-speed manual. So manual, close. Alright, now turn on the ignition. Do not start the engine. Apply parking. Alright, so like it said, turn ignition on. Apply parking brake. Now select continue. So it's going to make you wait for a minute. Now, select the 87 regular performance tune. Honestly, there's really no point in running that. So 93 octane Predator tune. If you're going to do it, you might as well just go for it. And modify stock tune. Now, the only thing that I've found is really useful in here was at the drag strip on regular street tires. Just set my idle RPM a little bit higher, up to around 1200, and then I can just launch from idle and not have to worry about sort of balancing the gas out. But for the sake of the video, we'll go with the 93 octane tune, blah blah blah. Choose. Alright, continue. So turn the ignition key off. Continue. Shut the door here. Now turn ignition on. And you might be able to hear the little bit of extra noise in the background there. That's basically just the electronic system sort of doing its thing. But this will take a couple minutes, usually no more than that. You know, do whatever you want. But in the meantime, while this is loading, my opinion on it, honestly, it's not worth it for the money. Even if you can pick one up for 150 bucks. I mean, if the money's really burning a hole in your pocket, go for it. Other than that, honestly, it's kind of a waste of money. Is there some noticeable improvement? Yes and no. I mean, you know, when you first hop in it, sure, the placebo effect is, you know, somewhat there. Throttle response is a little bit better. I will give them that, but as far as power goes, there's not much to be gained with these bolt-on 2 valves to begin with. I mean, if you really want to, sure, but honestly, guys, I think there's a lot, you know, better parts you could buy for the money. Even with some of the updated tunes, I mean, I tried running my buddies on here, a Bama tune, and I mean, same thing. It's honestly, there's just so little to be gained. I mean, at best, you're probably going to get 10 rear wheel horsepower, and that's at best. I mean, and that's paired with, you know, cold air intake, throttle body spacer, you know, off-road mid-pipe, catback, all that stuff that's really already doing the bulk of the grunt work anyways. I mean, if it's something you want, sure, go for it. You're not going to be, you know, too disappointed, but don't expect to get this thing and, you know, feel a real noticeable improvement. All right, so it's done. So now it will say turn key off, then on. Do not start engine. Turn it off. I usually let it wait a second. Turn it back on. Continue. Okay, so original backup has been saved. Continue again. Now, install tune. You can modify the tune. So again, here, this is where with the performance tune, you know, if I was at the strip, I would set the idle RPM a little bit higher. I mean, stock is somewhere around 750. I felt that it was helpful to set it up to around 1100, 1200 idle just for a couple quarter mile runs. I mean, as soon as I was done for the night, I'd go ahead and set it back down to baseline. But I mean, again, I haven't even been using this thing. I'm actually trying to sell it right now. So install tune. Turn ignition key off. Continue. Turn ignition key on. All right, so now it's just going to go ahead and run itself up, and it's rewriting the vehicle tune right now. You know, it should take about the same amount of time as backing up the stock tune file. I mean, there's really not much else that can be said about it. If it's something that you want, go for it. If you can pick one up cheap. The one thing that I would say to be careful about is I would buy one that's used in person, and that way you can verify that it's you know, unlocked or unmarried from the car. So, you know, all that means really is that somebody has to restore their stock tune, you know, with one of these, and basically that'll free up the device. Otherwise, you know, if they can leave the tune on their car and sell the device, and it's not going to work with your vehicle, and then I think it's like 125 bucks, you know, to go through Diablo, and you know, they'll email you a code basically to type in and re-unlock it. But it's $125, and you know, you see a lot of them for sale that, you know, they'll tell you it's locked, and I mean, they still go for 75, 100 bucks, and then you have to spend 125, and the wait time and all that. I just don't see this being worth it. So if you pick one up used, get it in person, verify that it's unlocked, and I wouldn't spend anywhere more than 200 for one of these, honestly. For what you get, it's not worth, you know, much more than that, if at all. But all right, already here you can see just about done. So that'll be finishing up in a second. I'm pretty excited. This thing's been sitting all winter. I just moved back up from Florida to the Boston area after I finished school, and I am selling this car this spring, but I'm still pumped to get it back on the road. I've been driving my old beater Jeep with about 150 horsepower all winter, so pretty pumped to drive something fun again. But all right, here we go. So just finished up the loading. Now this should just take a few more seconds. So again, turn key off, then on. Let it wait a couple seconds. Turn ignition key on. And continue. All right, so now it'll say 93 octane Predator tune is now in the vehicle. You may drive it now. Please unplug the tool, and all right, that's it. So we'll hit continue, but first we're gonna go ahead, and all you do is just unplug this guy from down here, and you're all set. So now should be able to fire it right up. seat's idling a little high. I also do have 87 in the tank, so this is really not the best thing to do, but I'm just going to be idling it for a few minutes. Oh, that was a little shaky, sorry. Yeah, let me turn the wheel. Yeah, so I mean, you'll notice it'll get back down to a normal idle. It'll idle steady right at about 750, and I mean, that's about it. So the process for unmarrying the tune from the car back to stock is really the same process. You just plug it in, you go to the tunes, restore stock tune to the car, turn it on and off a million times, follow the directions. Pretty simple. It's really impossible to screw this up. But one last time, guys, if the money's burning a hole in your pocket, sure, go ahead and buy it. You know, if you don't have a bunch of money like I do, I wouldn't suggest getting it. A friend of mine gave this to me for free. It's the only reason that I even have one on the car. I mean, you can read all over the forums, you know, whichever one you go to. A few guys here and there say, you know, oh, huge improvement, so much faster, so quick, whatever. Honestly, they're full of shit. Or they're just, you know, naive and want to believe they spent the money the right way. But there's a lot better parts you can get for the money. That's about all I have on it. Hope this helped, guys. See ya.